Tom, I think, probably has had more art stolen than any other artist that I think is probably known. But then he was an exception to every rule, because I looked at this. Did I know any other artist in history that actually was selling or presenting their art in places like adult bookstores, and at the same time having coffee table art books of their work also available? And so you were thinking, well, he was used for masturbation, so there were the magazines that were kept underneath the bed, and then there was the works that were out in the living room.
Put the sports magazines on the shelf.
And really, as of today, it still is the case in that his work is in beautiful, very respected museums like MoMA in New York, and yet his work is still being sold in adult bookstores. And so he is the contradiction to all of the established rules of art. So his first exhibition, which was in like 1973 in Hamburg, Germany, at an adult bookstore, they had a back room which was a gallery. The thing is, the night before his exhibition opened, the manager of the store left town with all of his art. So there was no art to have an exhibition of. In this film that is being presented now, it's actually interpreted that art that was stolen was in Berlin. There was art stolen in Berlin out of his suitcase, but it was also stolen out of the exhibition in Hamburg. And it was also stolen out of an exhibition that was in New York in 1980 at the Robert Samuel Gallery, which was a gallery that Robert Mapplethorpe was the silent partner in. And then it was stolen out of another exhibition that was in London, England, the Keith Talent Gallery. And we did recover that art. And criminals were actually prosecuted, not to the level I thought they deserved, but they were brought up on theft charges. A beautiful sort of backstory to those exhibitions that happened in California, especially the first one, which took place in San Francisco. Well, that is where, in fact, Tom met Robert Mapplethorpe for the first time, and they did build a friendship and a nurturing one where they actually created works for each other. Tom photographed Robert and then did a beautiful pen and ink of him. And then Robert photographed Tom and did a beautiful black and white photo print for him. But the thing that is really interesting is to read a letter that Tom wrote to his best friend, his best leather friend, which was here in London, and his name was Felix Jones. And he's talking about this first trip to California. He says, wow, what an amazing, amazing experience it was. Tom had never experienced being such a celebrity, I guess, and he felt so impressed and just so wonderful, just in that being so well received. The fellow who owned that gallery, his name was Robert Opel, and if anybody who's watching this remembers when the Academy Awards was on back in that era, and David Niven was on, he was actually the presenter, and what happens is that somebody streaks across the stage, nude. And streaking, that was when streaking was sort of the thing that was happening.
Quite likely.
And that was Robert Opel, who ended up being the gallery owner